What's up, guys? MC Stu here, and today we got some exciting news. I'm really pumped about this. We have the info on the ship that we are getting for the winter event, and like I said, I'm pretty pumped. Let's go ahead and start with just the basics on the winter event. It's pretty much the same as any other year. It is going to start on the 5th of December, which is going to be next Tuesday. You'll be able to start earning progress towards this. You will go to the Winter Wonderland and you can do any of these activities in order to gain progress towards unlocking the ship account wide. And you only need to do one of these. You don't have to do all of them. You can rotate between them from day to day if you want to, or just pick one that you like and do that for the 20 days. I prefer the ice race. It's the fastest one, takes a couple minutes, and you're all set. If you haven't done the winter event, I'd recommend checking out some of these other ones as well. It's quite a bit of fun in there, but if you've done it for years and years and years, it can kind of get a little bit monotonous. There hasn't been any kind of real changes to the event since then. So that's all you got to do to get the ship. Now let's talk about the ship. Here it is. So we have the Temerian Deep Space Cruiser. This was on Star Trek Next Generation. The reason I'm pumped about this, it wasn't like my favorite ship. We only saw it in one episode. But it's a TNG ship, which is my favorite series, and it's a Canon ship, and it's a free ship. And it's been a long time. I can't even think of the last actual Canon seen on screen ship that we've gotten for free from an event in a while. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm just forgetting something. But the last couple years have been the Fucuri ships. And I wasn't a real big fan of the ships themselves. I mean, they were okay ships, but I just didn't really like the look of them. Wasn't really my thing. So getting something from the original series was pretty cool. So this one comes from the episode where they run into these guys. They get beamed down to the planet, and there's a barrier in communicating, and Picard and the captain of the other ship have to figure it out. So this is the ship as it was seen on the show. It looks pretty close from what I can see. But this is, as the walls fell, it's what I Googled there. There's all kinds of memes and stuff from this particular episode. They beam down to the planet, and they have to fight off this beast that's on the planet, and in doing so are able to develop a way to communicate, and the day is saved. The captain of the other ship dies, but that brings them together. So spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it by now, I'm sorry. But anyways, so pretty pumped about this. They haven't given us any kind of detail on the ship itself. We'll probably get that in the next week or so on one of the 10 Forward streams. It is a cruiser, so most likely we're looking at a 4-4. It's not going to be able to equip cannons, or at least heavy cannons. I think you probably put turrets on it, or the single cannons, but probably beam boat. It'll have some sort of specialization, obviously, since it's a Tier 6 ship. But again, we don't have any kind of details on the ship itself. Let's take a quick peek at some of the other new things that were added to the event. There really wasn't a lot, which is kind of a bummer. There is a pretty cool looking bathlet. The last few years they've added these to the winter event store, and I'll pick it up because I like to collect all the different ones. And there was also some new sweaters added. So pretty light there. Was it last year we got the Breen set? Or I think it was the Breen set. It had the Omni console and a torpedo. There's some other gear that was from years past with the Breen warp core. There's also a bunch of really good modules, training manuals, things like that have been added over the years, but it was really pretty light here in terms of what they added for the shop for the winter event. So that's kind of a bummer, but I have everything I pretty much want out of the store. So I mean, it would be nice if there was some other new stuff to get out of it, but there is not, other than really the bathlet. So I definitely will be picking that up. I may go through and do a video on what kind of stuff is good in terms of picking up out of that store. There is a ton of clothing options, Space Barbie stuff. I mean, tons and tons. The majority of that store, the winter event store, is full of that kind of thing. It's probably like 90%. But there's some really good bridge officer training manuals, and quite a bit of other gear that's pretty decent. But again, the main draw for the winter event is getting the ship and unlocking that account wide. Definitely don't want to miss out on this stuff. Number one, it's a free tier 6 ship, but you never know what, kind of gear is going to come on it and if it ends up being really good. I know there's been events that I have missed in the past and decided I'll just take this one off, and it never fails. I always end up regretting it. I'm sure that's happened to quite a few of you guys. Let me know which ones you missed out on. I know on my free to play, I missed out on the what was it? It was the Tholian space set, and I'm just really upset that I missed out on that, because I can't buy it back out, because on the free-to-play account, it's free-to-play, so I can't spend any money. I guess I could grind out the lithium and trade it in for Dill, Dill, and trade it in for Zen, but I'm just not going to do that at this point. It's just too much work. So don't sleep on these, because again, you never know, especially if sometimes we'll see blog posts where they'll give us the specs and we're kind of like, eh. And then there's an update to the game a year later, 6 months later, 2 years later, and suddenly, the console or a particular weapon that might have come on the ship ends up being really good, or the trait. So I'm pretty interested to see what kind of console is going to come on it, what kind of trait. They've been getting pretty... they've been doing a lot of different things lately, and I appreciate that. It hasn't really shooken up the meta, but not everybody chases the meta. And while I do like to do the high-end DPS stuff, I also just like to just build and try out new things and just have fun with it, which is, I think, probably the majority of the people that play the game. That's why we play the game, not just for the huge DPS there, but for the building of the ships and those kinds of things. So don't sleep on the event. Make sure you do it. All you have to do is run any of these. And again, if you do the ice race, you're going to finish it in about 2 minutes. It doesn't take a lot. This is really easy to do. This is one of the nicer events because it's so quick, especially for me, because I have my main account and then my free-to-play account. I'm able to grind that out very quickly, and it only takes about 5 minutes, 6 minutes, including logging in and out of my main account and my free-to-play account. So definitely take advantage of it. Let me know what you guys think. I really like the ship overall, the pictures that we have, and if we look at the show when it pulls up, it's a cool looking ship. It's not super alien looking. It's just different from the Starfleet. So I like it partially because it's TNG, but I also just like the way the ship looks. So I'm pretty excited about that. And again, I'm really interested to see what the trait looks like, what the console looks like, and if that's something that we'll be able to mix into to some of the fun builds that we have, or maybe it'll be super OP. Who knows? So hopefully within the next week or so, we'll get all the specs on the ship. Once we do that, or get that, I will do a review on that. And we'll get my thoughts on if it looks good, not good, or what we should do with it. But regardless, even if it's all bad, definitely get the ship, because again, things change, and you don't want to be stuck a year from now saying, man, I wish I would have done the event and just grabbed the ship. So super easy, take advantage of it. Don't sleep on picking up the ship. All right, guys. So that's pretty much it. This is kind of a quick one because again, there's just not a lot in the winter event this year. So other than the ship, and I'm going to pass on the sweaters because that's not really my thing. But there was some speculation. I think CasualSAB had brought up something about these sweaters were giving away, that it was probably a Temerian ship. I'm not exactly sure what it was. I'll have to go back and watch his video. But he hit the nail right on the head there. So congratulations to him and his prediction. All right, guys. Until next time, I appreciate you watching. Have a good one. Hey guys, appreciate you watching. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, ring the bell, and sub to the channel for the latest news updates and how-to guides.